Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Monique's Musings. And this month's vlog is about something simple: identity. Perhaps not so simple. It's a complicated little thing, right? I got told recently, a friend of mine, background, a friend of mine was doing this kind of self-reflection. Tell me two strengths about myself, my blind spots. Tell me two strengths. Tell me my weaknesses, that kind of thing. So I asked her, I did hers, and I asked her to reciprocate so that I could know what my strengths are that are appreciated and my weaknesses are that I could improve upon. One of the things that came up was you identify as your problems too much. And I was like, what? Well, yeah, what do you mean? I identify as my problems. And, but in a way, I kind of get her. And then I was like, well, is it that you want me to be always happy, like a toxic positivity thing? Or do I actually do this? She's like, please don't, and then the prayer for me, she was like, don't own the labels. Don't allow those names over you. I wasn't really, but then I thought about it in a better way. And I was like, okay, let me see about this associating. Funny enough, as the spirit of always these things, as I was listening to her voice note and hearing that, also like my heart was kind of tugged to, okay, but do I do this? And I remembered a viral post, Chimanda's last article on It's Obscene. I think that was the title. And I remembered the arguments that came up about her perspective and the African feminists that she was basically calling out. And I remember how it became something like, oh, she is attacking LGBTQ folk. And I was like, this is not an attack on LGBTQ folk. It's an attack on people, two people who just happen to belong to the LGBTQ community. But it's more an attack on, or calling out, I won't say attack, calling out of them on their character. Their identities are not who they are. And I remember that. I remember that statement as as this person is telling me, do not identify as your labels. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, that's what she means. I do that. As in, and I think we all do it because it's so easy. It's default. Like if somebody calls you out in the public and says, introduce yourself. How do you introduce yourself? Be like, I'm Monique Quattro. I'm a writer, a youth advocate, this, that, and the titles, right? Or I'm a doctor of this. I have a PhD in this. I, and what happens? All those things that you identify as. Who are you? Without your job, without your title, without who are you as a person? And it just made me think of how, because we have to always fit ourselves into bite-sized forms for people to digest, it's hard to avoid the labeling of yourself, and you continuously label yourself to the point that you others, even if you don't, others could think, oh, she's like that because she's feminist, or she's like that because she is black, or she's like that because she's Cameroonian, or she's like that because she's, I mean, all the titles. And we easily get to generalizations because of that. It will be much healthier, I think, if we can kind of break it down, who you are, and then what it is you do, and then what things you like, your features, your beliefs, your values, and so on and so forth. But who you are being not just one thing, a combination of all, a composite of all of those things make you who you are. It's because of all those things, your experiences, and literally, if you had to reduce yourself even to just one tiny thing, it would definitely not be any of those labels. Now, this is not to say the labels are bad, because I will still tell you I'm feminist, or I'm Christian, or I'm Cameroonian, or I'm woman, obviously. But I'm saying who you are cannot be labeled and boxed, categorized neatly in any of those. The kind of woman you are is multiple, is composite of all your experiences and who you, what you like in your features and what you do and so on and so forth. And your values. That is not just limited to women. Same thing with the kind of Christian you are, or the kind of feminist you are, or the kind of scholar you are, or this kind of youth worker you are. We usually see those things kind of like impress, but in the end, people don't know us. It's the truth. It's like I'm walking around. People do not know us. And yeah, I think that about sums it up. Anyway, I did this exercise following that experience, and I thought I'll share it with you on today's vlog. Basically, the exercise is to see the journal. Yeah, author. The exercise is me basically saying what is my identity, where I have my name. I am Monique, um, child of Yahweh, daughter of Esther, and belonging to the Kwachu family. Bami Anglo Cameroonian by heritage. My beliefs are Christian, feminist, Afrocentric, pro justice, constructionist. Those are the beliefs, those are my lenses. My features, I have a partial hearing impairment. I have seasons of clinical depression. I am extremely hormonal in nature. I struggle with self image. I love music, eclectic forms of music, gospel to hip hop to dance hall. I mean, eclectic as long as I like the lyrics and the beats. Um, I find I find I love it most when music has meaning. Sorry. I find knowledge and a love for knowledge and passion for using knowledge attractive. So sapiosexual. I okay. I am truly I have a fat body that can be healthier, but is truly doing considerably well, considering everything that I'm doing to it. I have insecurity issues. I have childhood trauma experiences that make me try to deserve love, prove my worth, exhibit perfectionism. I get distracted easily. I have a loud inner critic. I tend to be anxious. I have big dreams, and most of them are for social change in my country. I love looking good. Though I cannot tell you about knowing brands to save my life, do not ever say this is a knockoff or this is the origin. I do not know brands. I just know it looks good on me. Um, I love humor, and I think I have a great sense of humor. What do I do? I do research for change. I have a healthy curiosity, but honestly, it's limited to things I think matter to me. I do writing, I do youth work, I do mentoring, I sister, I befriend, I enjoy reading. I enjoy spending time with good friends. I enjoy deep conversations. I feel happiest when I am doing what I feel God saved me to do. When I'm doing something in line with my values and the things that I feel matter. I I value I value the color. I value how things color the world, like how our perspectives color the world. I value words and the weight of words. All these are part of me. They're shades of me, characteristics, basically. Some of which I chose, some of which I did not choose, some of which chose me. My beliefs, my values, my experiences, they color how I see the world and ultimately how I behave, how I act. What I do is how I live out my life, but these are not who I am. Who I am is a human being, again, daughter of Yahweh, born to Esther by God's grace, choosing, choosing every day to be more Christ-like as I can be, and choosing every day to live according to the beliefs and the principles and perspectives that I hold dear. That's who the identity is. And you see how it's different when you say, this is who I am. This is what I believe. These are the features, my characteristics that I have. These are my values. This is my doing, what I do. And all of that comes back and feeds from. I think it was a very good exercise to be able to decompress, remove yourself from the labeling, because I would never forget someone saying, um, this was a meme, or I don't know if it was a meme or in the middle of a conversation, and I was saying, I am fat, and she says, no, you are not fat. You have fat. Or, and even if you want to say, I am it, that's okay, but that should say, okay, then that's your identity. No, you have it. It's just one thing that you have. Or you say, oh, I am hearing impaired. You have a hearing impairment. It's different. Or, oh, I am, like, with all the labels that you want to take. Is it the, I remember thinking, what is, can we, like, what you put after I am is the most powerful. It's your definition. And you could say, I am not okay now. Not I am not okay. I'm not okay now where I am right now. I'm not okay. That's fine. Um, I'm not normal. Well, what is normal? Like, it actually brings up all these questions. So anyway, this was a healthy exercise that came up from that friend's um, own self-reflection exercise, and it made me think, and I hope it makes you think. That's where my musings for this month went to, and perhaps you should do that identity exercise yourself. Who are you, and how is that different from the labels that we put on ourselves? Have a great month ahead. Bye.